How does GTA 5 get turned into a full zombie survival game? Here are the top 5 mods that completely turn it into one. Simple zombies. If there's one mod that actually creates the zombie survival experience in GTA 5, it's Simple Zombies. On the surface, it looks straightforward. Zombies replace the normal population, but what actually matters is how it completely shifts the structure of the game. GTA normally rewards chaos. You fight, you steal, you respawn, you repeat. Simple Zombies removes that comfort loop and replaces it with survival pressure. Suddenly, every decision has weight. Food, water, ammunition, and supplies aren't optional anymore. They're the difference between lasting another day or restarting everything. But the biggest change isn't just mechanics, it's the world itself. Simple Zombies introduces a heavy degraded version of Los Santos where electricity is gone, vehicles are abandoned, and the city feels like it already collapsed long before you arrived. That destroyed map feeling is what sells the entire illusion. You're no longer in a functioning city with zombies added on top. You're in a world that has already ended. But even then, something is missing. The world looks broken, the gameplay feels dangerous, but the atmosphere still doesn't fully match what an apocalypse should sound like. And that's where the other mod comes in. Zombie sounds. Once Simple Zombies establishes the world, the next problem becomes obvious. GTA 5 still doesn't sound like a zombie game. Even with a destroyed map and survival mechanics, the silence between encounters feels unnatural. Zombies can be around the corner, but without all the intensity, they don't create the pressure until they are already visible. That's what the Sound for Zombies mod fixes. Instead of quiet encounters, zombies now have distinct audio cues. Groans in distance, aggressive screams when they detect you, and sharper audio feedback when they start running. It turns the sound into an early warning sign. Trust me, it's scary. Listen to this. Wait. You don't just see the danger, you hear it before it reaches you. These, however, are just the bare minimum. To level up the game, we need the environment to feel more apocalyptic. The next mod is a toolbox that lets you change something fundamental than zombies or sounds. It helps change the world itself. Menu. Even after zombies and sound design reshape the experience, GTA 5 still has one problem that quietly breaks immersion. The world keeps resetting itself. The weather clears, the sky turns bright, the lighting shifts back into the familiar normal Los Santos look. And every time that happens, the illusion of a collapsed world weakens. Menu fixes that by letting you take control of the environment instead of letting GTA cycle itself naturally. And let's be honest, this doesn't need any introduction. You can lock the world into a permanent state, heavy snow, constant rain, or endless nights, all through this mod. This matters because in a zombie survival setup, weather isn't cosmetic, it changes how the world is interpreted. The result is simple but powerful. The world stops feeling like it's temporarily broken and starts feeling permanently abandoned. That consistency is what sells the apocalypse in the long term, and nothing is more critical than somewhere to keep us safe. Cool off base. Once the world is dangerous enough, the next question becomes structure. Survival without recovery doesn't feel like a game. It feels like constant pressure with no rhythm. Imagine watching a show with only conflict and no context. Kinda bland, isn't it? Pull Off Base introduces that missing rhythm. After scavenging through abandoned supermarkets and risking encounters, the base becomes a controlled space where everything slows down. Supplies are stored, health is restored, The next move is planned. Instead of wandering endlessly, gameplay starts forming a cycle. You leave the base, you take risk, you gather resources, you return, you reset and repeat. That loop is what gives survival game their structure. Without it, everything feels like one long, exhausting run. To prove my point, look at The Walking Dead. With cool off base, every trip into the city has meaning. It becomes a decision instead of a default. Do you push further for better loot, knowing that you might not make it back? Or do you return early, survive safely, but underprepared for what will happen next? But how will you store all these goods? Backpack mod. I'm going to be honest, this is more cosmetic than anything else, but I think it's still worth it. The backpack mod doesn't change mechanics, it changes what the character represents. A simple visual detail, geared strap on your back, reframes everything about how the player exists in this world. You're no longer a GTA character moving through chaos, you look like someone who belongs in it. That distinction matters more than it seems. In survival experiences, immersion doesn't come only from systems. It comes from consistency between what the player does and what the player looks like doing it. Scavenging only makes sense when you look prepared for it. Exploring feels intentional when you're carrying supplies. Survival feels real when your character visually reflects it. The backpack mod becomes the final reinforcement of everything the other mods are already doing. On their own, none of these mods fully transform GTA 5, but together, they close every gap the base game leaves open. GTA 5 isn't a zombie game, or is it? Click the video on screen to find out more.